Paraguay is an absolutely beautiful country with a ton of rolling hills and some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises that I have ever seen. But what else is there to see or to do in Paraguay? What are some of the attractions that one could maybe visit wanting to explore the country? Today we're going to go over just 5 of the things that are there to see, to do, to explore. And some of them include getting to know a little bit more history into Paraguay. It is also home to one of the 7 wonders of the world. Saltos de Monday is a national park located in the Presidente Franco, Alto Paraná district. It has a nature reserve of 9 hectares and 1.6 of that is taken up by a natural waterfall. The waterfall is 45 meters deep and spans at a width of 120 meters. Next up is the Jesuit Missions of La Santísimo, Trinidad, and the ruins of Jesus de Tavarangue. If I messed those words up, I'm sorry, I'm not very familiar with them. These were established by the Society of Jesus and the only World Heritage Sites in Paraguay. The Jesuit Missions sits on 8 hectares of land in the basin of Rio de Plata, established in 1706. The ruins of Jesus de Tavarangue is just a couple of kilometers away from the Jesuit missions and dates back to 1685. The purpose of these establishments was to Christianize the indigenous population without taking away all of their indigenous traditions and the culture. At the same time, they offered protection from the colonial labor systems of the encomienda. Encomienda was a Spanish labor system that would reward people for conquering non-Christians, and this would be in exchange for things like basic living necessities, food, clothing, amongst others. There are signs at these remains that places had pretty much everything that a community needed to live on. There was kitchen gardens, there was colleges or schoolhouses, and a small church apart from a main church, as well as native houses and a cemetery. There are more of these missions throughout South America, but the Jesus de Tavarangue is quite likely the best preserved in all of South America. And the buildings that are still left, I haven't been there myself personally, but the buildings that are still left, looking at pictures, have beautiful architecture and were definitely made to last. They've already been standing for several hundred years, and a lot of them are still pretty well structured. The National Pantheon of Heroes is a very important landmark monument in Paraguay's history. It is located in Asunción. What makes this such a special place is that it holds the remains of a lot of important historical figures for Paraguay, such as Carlos Antonio Lopez, first constitutional president of Paraguay, and his son, who also served as president, Francisco Solano Lopez. And then you have the hero of the Chaco War between Bolivia and Chaco, which is Jose Felix Estiggaribia and his wife. It is also a place that a lot of people like to gather anytime an event happens that is going to be important for Paraguay's history, like the election of Fernando Lugo in 2008 as president. The construction of this building itself did get started in 1863, but then was put on hold because of the Triple Alliance War and actually took 70 years to get it complete. This pushed the finish date past the Chaco War, which was 1936. While I was looking for places that I should probably include in this list, I came across a beautiful ranch. It is Estancia Aventura, and it looks like just the perfect getaway. I think I'm going to have to go there myself one day when I get a little bit of time to just get away. It looks like such a nice place to relax and do horseback riding and just chill and take in Paraguay's beautiful nature, complete with large palm trees, swimming pools, and pretty much anything you need to just get away for a bit. It is also conveniently only about an hour and a half away from Asuncion, which is the perfect distance to kind of get away but not really have to go very far and just enjoy nature. And now last but not least, because it is considered one of the 7 wonders of the world, it is Presa de Itaipu, and a hydroelectric dam that was built between Paraguay and Brazil. It is the second largest hydroelectric generator in the entire world and produces far more electricity than what Paraguay even needs. So it's got a ton of resources that it can sell off to other countries like Brazil. It also has 20 generators, and so it's got enough for 2 to always be down for maintenance while 18 are still producing electricity. This way, it never has to be shut down completely and always has sufficient amount. It also has a lookout from which you can watch a light show, and I'm sure that's absolutely beautiful watching the light show as the water is flowing, and just really a place that deserves to be visited. The initial construction phase took a total of 13 years to build, from 1971 to 1984, when later on in 2006 and 7, the last 2 generators were finally added. There has only ever been one time where this dam has left the entirety of Paraguay out of electricity for a total of 15 minutes, and the Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo at the same time for 2 hours. This was reportedly due to a storm damaging some of the components of the dam, which happened on November 10th, 2009. But if you're more of a hiker and like to challenge yourself, then Cerro Tres Kendu is probably a place that you'll want to visit if you come to Paraguay. It sits at 842 meters tall, and it's the highest point in Paraguay. There's also spots that you can camp out up there overnight if you would like, and just really take in all that is around you. This spot is located in General Inogio Garay. These are just some of the spots to visit in Paraguay. If you know of any other ones, do feel free to share. I still need to explore this country a whole lot. I've only seen very little of it, but let me know what place is worth seeing, and I'd be really interested in hearing about that.